practice right now. Come back when you are. In a very few moments, I'll be over here and we'll do some energy work, some breath work, and then some postures as well. So feel free to join me when you can. If not today, another day. While I get my last little bit set up here for my live streams, I will hit go live there. And go live. And go live there. Looks like I've got green lights everywhere saying that people are able to hear me, which is very, very important. Okay, I'm going to head on down to my mat. And feel free to arrive on a comfortable seat, cross legs, elevated at your hips, sitting on a cushion or a pillow. Just taking a moment to arrive in your space, giving people a chance to join that maybe haven't had a chance yet to get their communication set up and the different live streams. So let's all just take a few deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. Maybe a sigh out of the mouth, just as I've demonstrated there, just allowing yourself to freshen up the respiratory system. Big deep breaths in, filling up the lungs. Think about this three-dimensional aspect of the breath, allowing the lungs and the torso to expand with the inhale. And just hold that breath there, and then just let the exhale release and feel the grounding nature of the exhale breath. So with your eyes closed down and your awareness on your breath, now shift the awareness to the internal universe. Move from the fabric of your skin into the contours of your muscles and into the web of your nerves. And tour through your body from the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. Just be a witness with a kindness and compassionate heart space awareness of areas that might feel a little sticky or blocked or sleepy or slow. And perhaps there's other areas of vibrancy and vitality and rhythm and movement. And the encouragement here with that kindness and compassion that you've cultivated at the heart space is to harmonize that expression in your body. To seek some balance, but also to recognize that there's always going to be those opposites. There's always going to be parts that feel a little sluggish. There might be an imbalance, an injury. I know a lot about those, don't you worry. So just allow yourself that opportunity to encourage the unity, the yoking, the origin of the word yoga, yug, to unite, harmonize, come together. Which is something we can do off the mat in this world that is so fractured, so delineated along tribal, ancestral lines, race, creed, sexuality, location. Just rest your awareness somewhere full of gratitude and love, because there is so much that lacks that at the moment. Focus on the positive this morning. And with the hands, bring them into Namaskar Mudra at the heart space. Draw your chin towards your chest. Bow yourself forward for a moment here and take a deep breath in through the nose. You're welcome to join in with an Om in the next round of breath. If not, feel free just to let the sound reverberate around you. So as we take an inhale to prepare. Rub the hands together and create friction. Ignite your inner Agni, your fire. Move them so quickly you begin to feel that fire and warmth. And once you feel something that is going to nourish you, place those palms over your eyes and absorb that nourishment. Draw it in. Ignite your little furnace down in the solar plexus, the Manipura chakra, the lustrous gem. As you peel your hands away from your eyes, arrive in your space. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Left hand on your knee, either cupping the hand on the knee or Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb come to touch. A little bit of breath work here known as Nadi Shodhana. Peace fingers of right hand joined, and use the thumb and the ring finger to alternate the breath through the nostrils. We use a snapping exhale breath at the belly button to force the air out, and the passiveness of the inhale through the opposite nostril will happen with rhythm. So let's begin by closing right nostril, inhale left. Close left nostril, exhale right, with a snap out through that belly button. Open left nostril, inhale. Close the left nostril, exhale, out the right. So moving now, left inhale, right exhale. Pumping the navel center, cultivating that fire, and starting to shift Ida and Pingala on their journey upwards along the spine, vibrating through the chakras and igniting the wisdom and lifting with Shakti. Let's move through a few more. Now open both nostrils, inhale. Open both nostrils, exhale. And just recognize how solar and lunar channels might feel a little different. Maybe it's a little gooey, a little sticky, something like that. It's okay. You're in your own personal space. Be a bit weird. Let's switch it up. So inhale through the right. Close right, exhale through the left with that little snap in and up of your belly button. So moving now. Inhale right. Exhale left. Can you go a little faster? Can you go a little quicker? Can you get a little bit more and dropped into this expression of this breath work? Inhale right, exhale left. Last couple. Nice work. Both hands down on the knees. Just hold there for a moment with a few breaths. Maybe you feel the warmth in your shoulders. Maybe you recognize the navel center and the solar plexus feeling a little hotter, a little warmer. That's element attached to the Manipura chakra is fire. What does fire need? It needs oxygen. Now let's continue to move through some more breathwork techniques. This is called Bhastrika. And in this breathwork, we lift the shoulders up to the ears on the inhale. And on the exhale, do the same breath you did before. You snap the belly button in and up as you drop the shoulders. And I like to think about gathering up all that tension, the stress and fatigue that we carry around on our shoulders. And with the exhale breath, that's the letting go breath, we release the shoulders and we release out into the auric field and away from us the negativity. So let's move through that now. So, and you move relatively quickly. Halfway. Nice. Just pause now with that awareness in our shoulders, the warmth there, and just take a moment to recognize something that might be on your mind or that's been buzzing around, those same thoughts we have every day, and just go, thank you, goodbye, whatever lesson you needed to show me, it's done. I don't need you anymore. And let's continue now to warm up our spine. So cactus the arms, spread the fingers. Inhale, lift the chin, open the throat, draw the breath in, big breath. And then with your exhale, shh it out your mouth, elbows towards your groin, round the back body, and fist the hands. So peeling open, extending and lifting up, chest proud. Inhale, breath fills the lungs. And the exhale, remember that's your letting go breath. That's allowing you to release that stickiness and the gooiness that doesn't serve us. So inhale, big breath in, full of positivity. And exhale, elbows towards the groin, and release the breath. So moving through this a couple of times. Really C-shaping the spine in the exhale and allowing the lift and length on the inhale. One more here, full round together. Next time you go up, peel up, lift up, reach up, inhale. Then lower the hands down onto your knees, exhale, breath. And let's move through that again with the hands on the knees. So inhale, use the hands on the knees to help leverage the spine into extension. And then as you dome the back away from you, allow the shape to be more pronounced because you've got the stability of the hands on the knees. So inhale and an exhale. Inhale and an exhale. Inhale and an exhale. Nice work. We'll take another Kundalini practice here called Ida and Pingala. Hands up, interlace fingers behind the head, palms to the back of your head, elbows wide. So thinking about grounding down through Muladhara chakra, lengthening along the Sushumna channel, the spine, and we will be activating solar and lunar energy here. So as you twist to the right, you'll find yourself with an inhale breath there. And then as you twist to the left, open your mouth and the breath away. So as you move from side to side, inhale to right, exhale to left, you will find that you'll begin to drop into the shunya, this point at which the breath is guiding you to move and you're not in the thinking body. You're simply moving, breathing, and coordinating that. So let's drop in now for about 30 seconds. Okay, next time you twist to the left, hold there. And let's take it in the opposite direction now. So inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Encourage the navel grind and tune into solar plexus, Manipura chakra, and tune into the feeling of I do, because you can do this. You can shift the negative. You can allow yourself to move in the direction of more by cultivating our inner awareness on Shakti energy, that divine feminine, and allowing her to unite with Shiva and encouraging us to be the best versions of ourselves. So continue for a few more moments. coming through your center, placing your hands down onto your knees. Now, if this is some of your first times doing a little bit of Kundalini yoga, just take a moment, close your eyes, and recognize how the warmth is generated down in the lower limbs, the legs, and the pelvic bowl, and it's lifting up through our spine. And feel the encouragement, feel that lift of positivity. Speaking of Shiva and Shakti, let's take one more Kundalini practice before a final Kriya, and then we'll move into some gentle yoga. Cactus your arms, spread the fingers wide. So as you twist to the right, you'll recite as loud as you can in your space, Shiva, without it being a big yelling expression, right? I don't know whether you've got children asleep elsewhere or partners, so be as loud as you like. Think of Shiva like this beautiful big umbrella, everything. And then as you twist to the left, Shakti, that's the feminine. Even though we've never heard her speak a word, we recognize her in the flow of the river, in the beat of our heart, in the song of the bird, in all the things that spark joy and life and creativity. So let's let's unite them here. So Shiva to the right, Shakti to the left, shifting side to side, moving, masculine, feminine, hot, cold, up, down, left, right, whatever you want to think of those polar opposite, night, day, sun, moon, call it what you like. Think about it, but don't think about it. Move, but don't express anything other than this mantra. Shiva, Shakti, Shiva, Shakti, Shiva, Shakti, Shiva, Shakti, Shiva, Shakti, Shiva, Shakti. Be a little weird, be a little different. Encourage something that moves you out of the lane that you're kind of constantly in, that little rut that we call this kind of existence that continues to reflect that same experience, right? Whereas this will encourage us to recognize the universe is our lane. We are expansive. We are gigantic. Let's find that now for a few more moments. Shiva, Shakti, 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 Shiva, Shakti. And as you come through your center, place your hands down onto your knees, roll your shoulders up to your ears, and take a moment just to pause here as you proudly broaden the collarbones. Look forward. Nice work. Let's shift onto our tabletop position, all fours, and find your way into a stable tabletop. And please feel free to have a blanket underneath you, as we'll be doing some low lunges. So if you need a little bit of padding, feel free to find that. I'm getting a good morning from India there. Very early, Kunal. Welcome. Thank you. Must be midnight, I guess, actually. Tabletop. Let's take ourselves through a little bit of cow on an inhale and a little bit of cat on the exhale. Doming through your back, pressing away from the earth, grounding the toenails. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Please close your eyes and move through this naturally and organically. Let yourself tune into the hydration of the spinal tissues and allowing each of the vertebrae to be awoken by this movement of the coordination of your body and your breath. And I like to call this moving into something known as sexy cat. Now, you don't need to look at the screen because the encouragement here is to be playful, to be feline-like, and tune into those areas that might be a little bit sticky, might be a little bit grippy. Just allow the movement, that natural, intuitive movement, to free up that blocked energy. You could get funky in the wrists and the forearms by changing the orientation of the hands, moving into the wrists, moving into the neck. You could even tuck your toes behind you, send your hips back towards your heels, wake up the soles of your feet. And And then gradually you'll come back to that stable tabletop position with me, and we'll warm up our fingers and our wrists. So if you're about to type all day, it's a great exercise to encourage a little bit of hydration in the wrists. So lift your thumbs first and then lift the palms off the mat, and you shift forward onto 4 fingers of each hand, hinged at your first row of knuckles. And you may just need to stay there if you've never done this before. But if you're like me and you've been practicing a while, you can lift and lower the palms super slowly, just tuning into that row of knuckles, but warming up wrists and forearms in the process. A key point here is I'm not bouncing through my shoulders. They're staying quite stable. It's actually isolated the movement at that row of knuckles. Lower palms down, lower thumbs down, playful sway from side to side. Let's warm up the shoulders for our big day ahead. So right hand up to the ceiling. Inhale, peel that hand up to the sky, and then thread the needle through to the left as you lower your right ear down and look to the left. Slide the left hand forward to the top of your mat and maybe tuck your toes behind you. Rest the side of your head, the ear, whatever it is that you can make contact with the mat, gently on the mat. Yeah, so just take a moment there. Hips are high, knees are on the mat, and we'll stay for another breath. Just be skillful in the presence of the discomfort here. Place the left hand back in front of your face, and then on an inhale breath, peel the right hand up to the ceiling. And as you look up at that hand, just draw some dinner plate circles in the sky, and then reverse that direction. Beautiful work. Lower right hand down, and then inhale, peel left hand up to sky. Big breath in, and then dive it in and under to the right, lowering your left ear down, sliding right hand forward, pressing into that palm, shifting the toes to tuck so you can make a little bit of weight, head back towards the heels. And just take a breath here. And then return the right hand in front of face, left hand up to sky. Inhale. Circles in the sky, getting that mobility in the shoulder joint. Reverse direction circles, lower left hand down onto the mat. Puppy pose from here. So I always like to think of my toes being directly at the back of the mat. The hips are over the knees, and you walk the hands forward until they're almost at the top of the mat. Depending on the architecture of your body, of course, lower the forehead down. So here the intention is that we allow the chest to soften towards the earth, the heart to soften towards the earth, but we're still active with the hips over the knees, and there's integrity in the hands, right? So that you can feel the hammocking of the musculature around the shoulder joint. And you can feel into the armpits. You can feel into the upper back. So you're going to stay here for a few cycles of breath. And it is actually a really nice opportunity just to be a gesture of surrender. And that's just a surrender to yourself, to giving in to the beauty, the wonder, the amazement, the fantasticness, all of the special things of yourself. Bow down to them. Thank them. Thank them for showing up every day. Whether or not we acknowledge them, that's another story, right? As we lift the head, slither towards the front of your mat onto your tummies, lower down onto the forearms, and take a moment here in a sphinx position. So the toes step wide at the back of your mat, the forearms are down, and you could think about the elbows being ever so slightly forward of the shoulders, so they're not quite underneath here. Proud chest, soft tummy. But I tell you one thing I like to do here is work with the energy in the legs. So feel free to create a squeeze of the buttocks, a little bit of a squeeze of the buttocks, and a little bit of activity around the big thigh bones. And in that respect, it takes the pinching out of my low back and allows me to soften more of the tummy towards the mat. And then we're going to hold for another 10, for 9, And you start to just recognize how the body says, okay, I see what you're doing here. You're in control. You know what's happening. You're not in a vulnerable position, even though it's an unusual position, because your breath is letting the nervous system know that. The nadis are flowing with your prana, and the prana is allowing itself to come up against the resistance of our practice and smash through those boundaries, freeing up channels for fresh energy to flow and allowing that harmony to pulsate through the four corners of the body. As you lower the chest down towards the earth, slide the hands back underneath your shoulders into what we would look more like a cobra position. We're going to take a Kundalini practice here known as spinal balance, and it is a lovely one. From the center line with your head forward, take an inhale breath as you peek over your left shoulder and lift the left leg off the mat. Exhale breath brings you back through your center, and then the inhale takes you over to the right, and you repeat it on the right as you peek over shoulder and you lift right leg. Exhale center, inhale left. Exhale center, inhale right. And you go through this 4 times on each side, please. I really like how this builds integrity in the gluteal, and coordinating our breath with the movement gives that stability through the leg. And because it's not both legs at the same time, it's very accessible in my opinion. Good work. Last one through your center. Exhale breath, meet me there. Come back to tabletop. So press back, lift back up, and meet me in our tabletop position. We'll take another spinal balance series here. So parallel the lower legs, so the feet are parallel with the shins parallel and the knees are hip width. Sit back on your heels momentarily. It's almost like child's pose, but not quite. On an inhale breath, come back to tabletop and extend the right arm forward, the left leg back. Then on the exhale breath, fist the hand, bend the knee and the elbow, and tap them under the body as best you can. Lower the hand and the knee back onto the mat and sit back on the heels. So that's all an exhale, and then we shift forward on the inhale breath. Left arm, right leg extends. Exhale, elbow, knee tap, and then we sit back on the heels as the hand and the knee return. Let's do 4 more on each side. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, contract and round, returning to the seat. Inhale, lift, lengthen and extend. Exhale, contract, round and sit back down. Off you go. Two more. 2 more each side, that is. So I've got 1 more each side here now. Now stay in the tabletop position once you've arrived there, and lift the right leg back behind you. Extend it back, and then step the right foot forward to meet the right pinky finger. That's the little foot at the outside of the hand, bringing the foot forward. Now that's why I kept my blanket behind me, to keep my knee down on the blanket. I do have lots of props, so if you don't have them at home, place some books underneath your hands could be useful. But if it's too late and you don't have any access to them, it's okay to have the hands on the mat and look forward with a proud chest. I just prefer in my body to have more elevation in my chest by placing my hands on a block. And I've taken the foot out wide so that I've got a little bit of a space in my hips. You could have the foot a little closer. Just stay here for a few moments, a few breaths. It's really funny this morning with my ceremony I do before class, which is a puja to the divine feminine, and it's Lakshmi on my wall and the Sri Yantra. I have my incense going, and normally it only burns like a quarter because it's kind of damp and it's, whatever. But today it's decided to burn the whole thing, and I'm literally in like a smoke-filled room. But it smells fantastic, so I wish you were here. Holding for another breath in our little lunge. It's good to hold this for a while, especially if you do a lot of standing and, well, actually a lot of sitting as well. Take your block on the outside of the right hip, or if not, place something under there. So as you lift the left hand up and you reach over to the right, you've got the support of something underneath you with the right hand. It's bringing the earth to you. Take a breath here. So thinking about lifting from the front of the left hip all the way up the left side body, and you peek under that left shoulder. Great work. Bring the blocks and the hands back to the top of your mat. Left hand now on the mat. Left hand on the mat. Right hand up. Lift up, reach up, look back, reach back, and that's enough for some of you. That could be it. Others say, no, I've got more space. What else can I do? We could bend the knee behind us and see, oh, can we reach for the foot? Yes, I've got the foot. Can I draw it in a little bit? Okay, and we'll stay here. But if it's, try not to dump into the shoulder that's supporting you. Press away from the earth. Create a really proud chest. Open through the heart space and collarbones. One more breath. Nice work. As you release the foot, no slingshot, please. Let go. And then hands forward. Tuck back toes. Lengthen back leg into a runner's lunge position. And do your best to step forward to a yogi squat. So stepping forward to yogi squat and hands at heart. Right hand down. Left hand peels up. Inhale. Lower left hand down. Right hand peels up. Inhale. Lower the hand down. Now keep the hands on the elbows on the insides of the knees. Squeeze the knees in, press the elbows into them, and feel that stretch across your upper back. And through the inner groin as well, an area where we get a little vulnerable. We don't do a lot of work there, so feel free to press as hard as you wish with the knees into the upper arms or the elbows. One more deep breath there. And from your yogi squat position, place your hands down in front of you, shift some weight forward, and then start to lift the hips into a forward fold. So from this position, toe heel the feet into more of an alignment of hip width. If you have your blocks, place them underneath you, place the hands on them, find a halfway lift, inhale, and exhale, we fold, we deepen the bend by bending the knees, tummy on the thighs. Continue to find a few halfway lifts. Inhale. And folding, exhale. Feels good through the hamstrings, glutes. Let's take another one. Big breath in. Now let's hold this in ragdoll. Catch your elbows. And please, feel free to move here. Be playful, be whimsical, nod the head, bounce into the knees, move the toes. Get that movement happening in the body. And then just let yourself rest and digest for a few moments. Feel into the weight of the head, right? Let it hang heavy, because I'd like you to allow for these final few moments from Svadhisthana chakra, this sensation of water flowing down the spine. As it does so like a waterfall, it carves a canyon through negativity, through stress, through fatigue, through blockages, through stickiness. As it clears the channels, it tumbles out the top of the head with all of those 60-odd thousand thoughts we have that are exactly the same every day, and we ruminate on them. Let's clear it all out. And then bring the hands under the shoulders for a halfway lift, or you could have your hands on your shins. Halfway lift, inhale. And then please step back to a high plank and convert that into your tabletop as soon as you wish. So tabletop position. A little cow and a little cat. A little cow. The sacredness of the cow in India is so beautiful. If you've traveled to India, the way the cows act, they are living gods, those things. So chill. I love it. So, so chill. Left leg lifts, extends, lengthens, reaches back behind you, and then you step that left foot forward to the top of your mat. And you find yourself in that lunge position again. So you've got your hands on the mat if you didn't have any blocks or props at home, or if you're like me and you have some, place them underneath you. It's such a strange experience when you actually do teach active yoga to a live stream. I've been doing it for years because I did it while I lived in Melbourne as a yoga teacher. But when you're in this capacity and you're using much smaller devices, you just feel like you're yelling into a vacuum, which is fine, but it's just like, is everything still working? Is anyone there? Anyway, a couple of breaths. And then taking your block to the left side of the left hip. So you're bringing the earth to you and you're reaching the right hand up and you're bending over to the left and you're continuing to lunge. So this is a really good stretch for your psoas muscle. And then as your right hand comes down, it returns to the earth and maybe it arrives on a block. And the option here is to windmill the left hand up and we look back and we reach back, and that might just be enough there. Or perhaps we bend the knee behind us and you draw your heel towards your buttock. Oh, I saw some love hearts, so somebody's there. That's nice. Thank you. There's quite a few people on Instagram today. It's funny, the difference between the TikTok audience and the Instagram audience, they are massively different. So many more people on TikTok, so much more choice to be a creator on TikTok and be helped and encouraged, as opposed to just being constantly told, oh, the algorithm, you're boring, you're not interesting, we don't care. Anyway, release that without any slingshots. And then as we step forward here, we come into a tuck-toed position, long back leg. We step forward into our squat and convert that into your comfortable seat. So sit back down on your buttocks. And I'm just going to shift a few things there. Crossing the legs. Placing the hands on the knees and closing down your eyes. So whether or not you've joined me for the full 36, 38 minutes or not, it's still a nice opportunity now just to take a few moments in your very busy day to tune into that internal universe. To take yourself from the fabric of your skin into the contours of your muscles and into the web of your nerves. And for those of you that may have practiced with me for somewhat or a lot of the time, can you notice now how the vibrancy of your prana flows inside of you? Can you recognize the quality of your breath? Can you recognize the quality of your thoughts? Just allow the breath to be that beautiful connection to the present moment. It's a beautiful reminder that a present is a gift and the gift is the breath, to remind us that all that exists is right now. So we can either be now on the inhale and pause, here on the exhale, with that space between the two, we are connected to the now and the here with that pause. But if we don't, if we rush through life, we connect those two together and guess where we are? We're nowhere. Bring your hands to your heart space, draw your chin towards your chest, bowing and acknowledging yourself, thanking yourself for showing up and reminding yourself through your practice that you're amazing, you're awesome, you're incredible, you're unique, you're special, and you won the lottery. You're fantastic. Keep going. You're doing great. Thank each other for sharing their energy with each other, with us, and with me. And thanking the technology that allows me to connect with people all around the world at different time zones and keep this practice alive, as it is one of the most important aspects of my day, is joining and connecting with you in the morning. So thumbs to third eye, chin to chest. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my actions and the actions of yourself be enabling of other people to feel the freedom that exists when they tap into their inner wisdom. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Have a great Friday, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed your practice. Let me know how you went. Thanks so much for showing up. For those of you that registered as well, that was really nice. It motivates me to keep going and getting up in the morning. It's nearly 7:30, so 7:25. So hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning, same time. So I'm working a lot at the moment, doing the job that pays the bills. None of this pays the bills. So yeah, I'll be up very early tomorrow morning to practice with you. Hopefully you can make it then. Annabelle, you're from Melbourne? Yes, I used to teach in Flinders Lane at Move Yoga and at Mooney Ponds at Slow Lane Yoga for about 7 years. So for a while. Nice to have you on board, Annabelle. Thank you.